Hello guys. Please introduce yourselves, like the players, player names, characters, and the country.
Okay, hi, I'm Yonasu, I'm from Sweden, and I play Slayer.
And I'm Xi, a Swedish jam player.
Okay. What do you think about the Showdown this year? And any improvements from the last year, or maybe not improvements?
I liked it. It's really useful to have Shinjin back from Japan because he takes care of stuff really good. So it was better organized this year. Of course, there's always things we can do better, like maybe make the schedule up earlier and have like one with all the times. Now we're really flexible with it, but it doesn't hurt anyway to have like all the times posted. But yeah, otherwise I liked it. I don't know really. Right now they're playing the Blaze Blue tournament, and there's actually 20 players for it, so I guess that's decent.
That's decent, yeah.
But we could have had like more PlayStations for it, since right now we have 2. But yeah, otherwise it's always really nice to be here.
Xi?
Well, I'm just glad all the French and Russian players took the time to come again. And there's always a lot of things we can improve, but I think we did okay.
Okay, what about the competitive scene here? Like, there are lots of people from different countries, and which of them did you face in the tournament? And what was the most memorable matches for you?
Well, most memorable. Unfortunately, it's a bad one. It's when we played the French in the losers bracket in the SPO quals. I felt I played good, and then I did an input mistake in the end, and I lost. It just felt such bad to waste a good playing. I also played against Robobobber, Goga, and I played Aris in the singles, and eventually I lost to C. And I think it's when Europe gathers like this, there's some players who are actually really good at the game, but they still have a lot of stuff to learn. But the top level, I think, is quite good.
Okay, Xi, you have any?
Well, my most memorable moments are all the matches that I lost in the team tournament and SPO qualifiers. Those are the ones that I remember the most. But the biggest thing about Showdown, I think, is the spirits. I mean, with all the French hype and Russian shouting and Swedish chants and all that. That's what I enjoy most about Showdown, except for the competition.
Yeah, the competition is always great, but I mean, even if it was way better competition, but people were not as friendly as they are now, it would not be Showdown. Because we want people to like teach each other how to play and stuff about their characters.
To improve the overall.
Yeah, we all have to work together to get somewhere.
Yeah, because there aren't enough players otherwise, so we have to work across the borders, and we really want, in Sweden we really want to learn this game really good, and we try our hardest, and yeah, this is a good way to improve, and we enjoy it every time.
Where were you? Okay, now to talk about the Guilty Gear in general. So, what do you think about the new Guilty Gear game? What would you like to add there? Or some game mechanics, some characters maybe, or some stuff you would like to remain the same?
Wow, that's a big question.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Guilty Gear has so many good points about it already that I feel it's hard to figure out what to improve. I mean, overall balance of the characters can be improved somewhat, but I feel all the characters have some strong points, so it's hard to know. And I don't know. I just want them to keep the characters feeling different from each other. Because when I play other fighting games, it's like, okay, so this character is a variation of that character and a little bit different from that character. But when I play Guilty Gear, it's like this character is completely different from all of the other cast. And that's the case for all characters. And that's what I feel is so great about it.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself good enough to have a well enough thought out opinion on how to change the game, but I'd like to see some new characters, maybe one or two, and a general damage decrease on some things.
Yeah.
Said the gem player.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think
Whoa.
that as it is now, even characters like Baiken kills you in 2 combos, and Slayer and Jam is, I mean, they do too much damage sometimes, but they're kind of power characters, but almost all characters do crazy high damage. If they would tone it down a bit, I wouldn't mind it at all, as long as they did it for like the overall cast. Or I mean, Bridget can have his damage, but just tone down the damage output for those that do really high, and I think it would be even more exciting games.
Yeah, I don't want them to remove the possibilities that all the characters have now, but make some things like, for example, Jam Sweep on counter. You can, if you have a 25% tension, you get a completely unprorated combo, and that does like 60-70% on some characters, and that's too much.
That's too much. Yeah. Okay. Are there any players which you have been looking up to, like Japanese maybe? See, name them, please.
Yeah, do you wanna go first?
Well, there's too many to name, really. Everyone in the Japanese scene that put out videos and help me learn, I'm thankful for all of them. And there's just so many great players, it's hard to name a few, but...
Let's shorten up a
for-
bit, like the jump players.
Yeah, my favorite jam players would be Mike and Kani.
Mhm.
Mike for his crazy style, and Kani for the complete opposite, calm, cold, collected spacing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yonasu?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's I learn a lot from other players who play other characters, like Dogura and Notoko. They just play so smooth and perfect, so it's just hard not to be impressed. But when it comes to Slayer players, I'm really impressed by the creativity and the fun style that Suikawa has. He always invents new stuff, and he just does great. He just wants to improve stuff all the time. I'm also a big fan of N, because he's just playing solid, and
He's the most boring Slayer in the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's actually a good thing. So yeah, those would be the two.
Okay. And who's the man to kill for you personally? Your like personal enemy.
I actually have 3. I mean, for like a couple of years now, we've been 4 players who have done the best in Sweden, and it's me, Simon, Shinjin, and Kair. And every time I'm up against any one of them, it's like, yeah, I know I have to do good, and I have to play at my most to beat them, unless they have a really bad day. And it's inspiring, because you know then that I can't just go on autopilot and do what I normally do. I just need to think all the time.
And what about the European players?
The Europeans, there's a lot of good ones. Goga is one, and I managed to beat him in the singles, so that felt
So
good.
he's not the man to kill.